Hello students, this is step 4 of chapter 14, the last step of chapter 14. So we're going to do two more items in our form. One being input boxes, input text boxes, and the other one being buttons that you press to send the form to a server, which in this case is just going to lead us back to the home page because we're not covering servers, as I mentioned, and then a button to reset the information on the form. Okay? So the first one we're going to do is the input boxes. So let's open a P tag, and then we're going to type the text ship to, and open a BR, and then we're going to put the text name. So the first thing we're looking for is the name of the person who's placing the order. Okay, so the input type in this case is going to be text. Okay, and the name is important because that matches up with the name that's on the server. So in this case, we're going to call this one name. All right, then we're going to / close the bracket, and we're going to put a BR tag. So it'll go to a new line. Okay, the next one's going to be address, and I'm going to type these all completely instead of copying and paste, just so you can see the process. Input type equals, again, text. These are all going to be text, but the names are going to be different, obviously. Name in this case is going to be address. Okay. And then BR tag. The next item is going to be city, colon, input type text, name equals city, and then BR tag. The next one is going to be state, colon, input type equals text, name equals state, and BR tag. Notice how on some of these I put a space and some of them I didn't. It absolutely makes no difference at all. I could put a million spaces or none. It would still look the same. It would still create one line break. And I'm sure you know that by now. Okay, the last one we're going to put is a zip. Input type equals zip. Name. Oops. I'm sure some of you noticed that I did that and said, well, you made a mistake. And I did. The input type obviously is still text. The name is zip. And then BR. Okay, and of course we need to close the P tag. And there is our input window. So let's see how that looks. Control S to save it. And we'll go back to our form and refresh. And we'll choose house blend. We want ground. We want both of these. Hello. And name. Ron. Address. 123 Main Street. City. Anywhere. State, New Hampshire, zip, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now you have all of that information, and then we're gonna create a send button and a reset button. Okay, so let's go back to Notepad++, and the last item won't take long. Open a P, and then input type equals submit. Okay, the value of the button, because remember a button has a value, what the text is on top of it. Value equals order now. Okay, and then space /. And now instead of the buttons being one on top of the other. I'm going to put them side to side. But I want a little bit of space. So I don't think I covered this with you guys before, but if you put ampersand, which is shift 7, NBSP, that equals one space key. Okay, that's one space. All right, so I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to put 4 spaces. Control V, Control V, Control V. So that's going to be 4 spaces between the 2 buttons. Okay, now I'm going to hit enter. It doesn't matter. I could do it on the same line, but just so it make sure it shows up, I'm going to put input type equals reset, close quote, and the value equals reset with a capital R, space /, and I don't need any more spaces or anything like that because that's the end of it, so I'm going to close my P tag. All right, now I have this set to go to index. So when we click on the submit button, normally it would send it to a PHP page, which would show all the output, but we're just going to have it go back to index, which is the home page. So let me show you how this is going to look. So I'll reset it, and I'll choose house blend, whole, gift wrap catalog, hello, didn't spell it right, but that's okay. I'm just going to put some okay, now you can't see the buttons because I didn't leave enough room, so I'm going to go back to Notepad, and I'm just going to create some BR tags here. For some reason I have my cap locks on. BR. And I'm going to copy and paste several of these. Just so we can see the bottom of the page. So Control S and refresh the page, and now we can see the order now and reset button. Okay? So as I mentioned, we'll select, and I'm just going to put any text at all because this is not actually going to go to a server, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, now if I click on order now, it should send us back to index.html, which it does. Okay, this is the home page. All right, now if I were to click on the reset button, everything that I chose should be deselected, and it is. So the reset button works, and the order now button works. So this is our form for the Starbuzz page. Now I am going to show you your assignment for this week to explain what you're going to be required to do. Okay, so here's the Chapter 14 assignment. Now I put student's choice. You're going to make your own selection on what subject matter you want to use, but I want you to treat this like a business, like you're selling something, either a product or a service. It could be something like you're selling widgets, or you're selling a service like web design or hair styling or whatever it might be, okay? So there's a lot of information on this website. It's the last one you're going to have to create. The final exam does not require a website. It's only multiple choice. So this is the last one. So I make this one kind of long. So choose a business of some sort, and you're going to have, I would like you to create a separate CSS page for the entire website and then one for the form itself so that I can look at the form style without seeing all the other style with it. So I do want you to style up your form page. If you remember, this form looks kind of bland. There's no background color. There's no pictures or anything like that. I would like you to kind of have a little bit of color and a little bit of pictures or whatever on your form page. And of course, this is going to say the name of your business and fill out the form, and should have a background color and some other information, okay? Now, the other thing on this is, now, this assignment is to test your knowledge of the form tag and resize images and all that. So you're going to have the thumbnails that lead to a larger image and all of that stuff. Now, the index page must contain at least 3 images for each one of the 3 products. The images have to link to your HTML sites and a link to the form page. So you have to have a link on your home page to the form page. That's not something we did on the Starbuzz. I didn't create a link to form.html, but I do want to make sure that you guys do that. Okay, so your home page, all right, this page right here, index.html, should have a link to all of these pages. Okay. Oh, and I put a thanks.html. When your user clicks on the submit button of your form, I want it sent to a page that says, thank you for filling out our form. We'll be in touch, or something like that. Okay, so that's a thanks. So in other words, in Starbuzz, we went back to index, but on yours, I want your submit button to lead to thanks.html, which is another page you have to create, which should have some style on it. Okay, and it should say something like, thank you for filling out our form. Okay, now let me go to the form page. Oh, you have to have sections of the page. Okay, you have to div your page. Okay, form.html. It has to include the following. So input text box that has at least 2, 3, 4 items: first name, last name, email address, phone. But it doesn't have to be these items. It can be any 4 items that you want. Select options. Okay, this is the checkboxes. Select options is the drop down. Remember how we had the drop down for house blend, Guatemala, and such? That's what the select options are. So you're going to have you should have at least 3 choices there, the 3 products that you're selling, and then select radio button. And I gave you an example here. Do you want the cheap version of the product or an expensive version? Just an example of what you could use. In the checkbox, I put 3 options here: wrap. Do you want the item wrapped? Do you want a catalog? Do you want to be put on the mailing list? Just some ideas there. And then the customer comments. Okay, 10 rows and 48 columns. Then of course a submit button and a reset button. Okay, the page must contain style that's on the form CSS page. And remember, when you fill out your form and submit it, you will not be redirected to the form results because we don't have a PHP or an ASP page. Okay, this is okay, but for now, I only want you to concentrate on the form itself. Let's not worry about PHP. And so you're going to create a thank-you.html page. So when your visitors click on the Order Now or Submit button, they will be led to your thank you page. Okay, and then you have your 3 product pages for each product or each choice. Okay, and that obviously all of your HTML pages have to be XHTML 1.0 compliant. I will be checking. And obviously they have to contain a larger image. From the index page, which contains the thumbnail, will lead to a larger image on this page. Okay? And that's the requirements for your assignment this week. So if you have any questions, send me an email. Okay? So that ends step 4 of chapter 14. Thanks for watching.